April of 2024 saw the release of Dragon's Rising's second season, generically just being called Season 2, but I'll allow the writers some headway with not giving these seasons any actual names because they sure did put all their writing work to the test with Season 2 itself. I certainly don't think it's an unpopular point to make that Dragon's Rising Season 2 is genuinely some of the best Ninjago content we've ever received, and if that actually is an unpopular point to make, then I will happily welcome the people and their pitchforks, defending the product of a multi-billion-dollar corporation until my final breath. In all seriousness, I do believe that Season 2 of Dragon's Rising has the potential to be held high with all the other highly acclaimed Ninjago seasons. Not you, get back in the trash. Season 2's first half was absolutely fantastic, and dare I say, so very close to perfection. I've genuinely lost count as to how many times I've watched this half a season. Probably not a good sign that I lost count after 5. But can Season 2 continue its greatness with the second part of the season? We already saw one season falter at the finish line, so will Season 2 of Dragon's Rising suffer the same fate? Honestly, if the second part of Season 2 somehow turns out worse than this hodgepodge, I don't think I'd really care that much, but what I would really care about is a certain part of this upcoming Part 2. That part being easily summed up in 2 words: Evil J. Ever since the first leaked image of this magnificent figure, Evil J's been living in my head rent-free, having a whole penthouse to himself in my dumb little brain. My mind went racing with all the possibilities that this concept could bring with it. Is modern Ninjago finally going to treat Jay's character with the smallest amount of respect? Or are we just in for more Jay peeing his pants? As the self-appointed biggest Jay fan, seriously, who else would buy a piece of crap like this just because it's a blue plastic ninja? I just have to voice my concerns as to what's going to happen with Evil J in Part 2 of Dragon's Rising's second season. Hopefully at some point they decide to give these seasons proper names. First, before delving into my hopes and what I believe should be done for Evil J, we need to take a look at how Jay's character has been horribly mistreated over the last few years. This horrid treatment of my favourite Ninjago character began all the way back in Season 8, some would say Season 11, but I feel like the seeds for Jay's terrible characterization were definitely first planted in this season, with the childish underwear scenes combined with the overall dumbing down of Jay's character, making him seem like a total idiot in every situation. Need I remind you, this guy made the bounty fly, and now he can't tell the difference between the words only and oni. Season 8 was merely the beginning of Jay's terrible treatment and certainly isn't anywhere near as bad as what the Wild Brain seasons would end up doing to him, essentially turning him into a 5-year-old to appease to the younger audience being targeted with the newer seasons. As the seasons went on, it was as if Jay's intelligence went down with each and every episode, not to mention his bladder control, as they sure did love making jokes about him peeing his pants. I really hope this isn't a case of one of the writer's special interests leaking into the show. Since Season 11, Jay has been regulated to being the dumb, idiot comedic relief character, with his only interests being video gaming, eating pizza and of course, peeing his pants, effectively being turned into a 5-year-old child. Gone are the days of Jay actually inventing things or really showing any form of basic intelligence. Now Jay is just constantly made fun of by the other ninja and always being made out as being the most worthless member of the team. It makes it very hard to take a character seriously and care at all about a character when every other character is constantly putting that character down. Don't even get me started on how Jay's voice got worse with every season. With every episode it became more and more higher pitch. If you played just a second of Wild Brain Jay speaking from a loudspeaker, you would genuinely go deaf. I could honestly go on forever in complaining about the treatment of Jay's once truly great and elegant character, but talking any more about it would genuinely drive me mad, and also it would be awful to listen to. With Jay's awful character treatment over the last few years recapped, giving me a slight headache with just the thought of Jay's high-pitched voice, let the speculation and hopes for Evil Jay begin. Let's first start with how in the world does Jay even become evil? Last we saw him working for the administration in part 1 of the second season, he seemed pretty morally grey, not really being good or bad while working for the administration. So what suddenly makes him turn to the dark side and become full-on evil? Does the administration just fire him for poor work, or take away his health insurance? Of course, the most obvious reason to point towards for Jay becoming evil is good old Lord Roz, as it seems Jay has joined the side of the Wolf Clan in the second season. But how did Roz even come into contact with Jay in the first place? Does Roz somehow know that Jay is a member of the administration? Perhaps with his plan to release the Forbidden Five going south, he tasks Jordana to use her magic to find new suitable candidates for the Source Tournament, which would lead to Jordana tracking down Jay in the administration. Another potential way that Roz could come face to face with Jay is that maybe due to the Wolf Clan's dojo suddenly disappearing, thanks to Roz's master, the administration sends out Jay and a few of their agents to deal with Roz, as I guess dojo suddenly disappearing breaks one of their made up laws or something. Once Jay arrives at wherever the hell the dojo is teleported, Roz potentially recognizes Jay as one of the ninja, or at least sees Jay use his elemental power, which makes Roz capture Jay, turning him evil by slapping on a wolf mask and using the Gong of Shattering to shatter his soul, making him completely compliant to whatever Roz wants him to do. Or he simply offers Jay a better pay than the administration. Both seem pretty possible. With some possible ways for Jay's turn to the evil side out of the way, now we get to look at the more fun stuff, my hopes for the treatment of Jay's character, and what role he could potentially play in this newest tournament. Right now, we're not sure if this new Source tournament is going to be the exact same formula and system as Chen's tournament, but whatever style or system this tournament goes with, I absolutely want Jay to be the most mysterious person there, never speaking a word and always looking around the shadows with his mask on at all times, only ever doing anything when he's told to do so by Roz. Except for Roz, Cinder and Jordana, I don't want a single person to know who Jay is, ignoring the obviously lightning themed outfit Jay would be wearing, all of the ninja and other contestants of the tournament questioning as to who this mysterious new member of the Wolf Clan is. Since Roz would have used the wolf mask on Jay, surely that would give Jay the ability to use Shatter Spin, which would seriously make him overpowered when matched up with someone in the tournament, not even bothering to use his element and only relying on Shatter Spin, further keeping the ninja questioning his elemental power until his last match in which he finally uses his power. Shocking the ninja as this mysterious figure is finally revealed to be the long-lost Jay, maybe even against one of the other ninja in the tournament, which could create an incredibly tense scene, especially if it's against Nia or even Cole, calling back to the original tournament. In their first matchup, they both sort of held back, but in this new fight, only Cole would be holding back, while Jay would be unleashing everything he has. As far as we know, Cole doesn't know Rising Dragon Strike, so if this matchup does actually happen in the new tournament, Jay will be shatter spinning himself into the winning position. One of the most important things I want from Evil Jay is Jay to be actually serious for once. No jokes or silly actions, just a purely serious warrior being used by Roz against the ninja. So far the Jay in Dragon's Rising isn't exactly what I want from Evil Jay, so hopefully he'll become more serious and ruthless once Roz converts him to the furry side. I also just want to see Jay be badass for once, like so badass that people would call him literally me. Finally getting rid of the notion that Jay is the weakest and most useless ninja on the team, finally showing how much strength Jay really has when he isn't holding back. As much as I want to see this totally badass, awesome and cruel version of Jay, I also do want to see the same Jay we're so fond of, or at least a few of us are, with Jay eventually getting his memories back at the very end of the new season. But I don't want him to immediately rejoin the team or be just like he was before the merge happened. I want this Jay storyline to continue into the third season as well, and maybe even beyond that. Perhaps Jay feels the need to go on a journey to rediscover who he really is. I certainly wouldn't say no to a Jay-focused season where that was the plot, or maybe even another canon book that tells the tale. I absolutely do not want this whole Evil Jay plot to just be forgotten about when the next season comes around. Jay's time being evil absolutely needs to have a lasting impact on Jay's character and the show as a whole. I beg that this is not another Ice Emperor situation, where Zane literally commits genocide for decades and is then perfectly fine the next day as if nothing ever happened, his time as the Ice Emperor having no effect whatsoever on his mental state or anything. I want Jay to actually feel something from being evil, regretting whatever evil acts he does in Season 2, feeling remorseful for hurting the other ninja and thinking he doesn't deserve to rejoin the team after what he's done under Roz's control. I see Evil Jay as a chance for the writers to start fresh with Jay's character, finally getting rid of his awful character from the Wild Brain seasons and starting from scratch once he's free from the control of Roz. He could start off as a more serious and intense character, but gradually over time as the show continues, Jay could begin to return to how he was like in the very early seasons of Ninjago, being able to be both serious and have a comedic side that doesn't turn him into a child at every moment. After everything Dragon's Rising has given us so far, I would say I have great faith in the writers to deliver a fantastic Evil Jay storyline. Or at least one that's better than the Ice Emperor. But I swear to at least 3 gods, if they somehow find a way to mess up this Evil Jay story, I am genuinely going to be done with Ninjago forever, and I actually mean it this time. I can live with terrible seasons like Rebooted and Crystalized, a mediocre movie and even subpar sets, but I will be drawing the line at botching a storyline like Evil Jay, a storyline that many fans and myself have been wanting to see happen for years. I could never forgive the writers if they messed it up. Trust me, I will not hesitate to burn this Ninjago Eraser pack if Evil Jay even utters the word P.